Salaam alaikum. The person that fears Allah Ta'ala the most loves Allah Ta'ala the most. We are trying to understand how to love Allah Ta'ala by reading about the life of our Prophet, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Before I continue, I again want to read from the book Ethics of Islam. Everyone should select one of those scholars who are at the level of deriving rules, that is, doing ijtihad regarding religious issues, and imitate him in all his matters. Ijtihad means understanding the meanings of vaguely defined information and reaching conclusions in circumstances about which there are no clearly understood commands, nas, in the Quran al-Karim or Hadith Sharifs. Let us continue. Muawiyah, an emancipated female slave who later became Muslim, who was present in the house where Hubayb bin Adi was kept, reported, Hubayb was imprisoned in a cell of the house in which I was present. I have not seen any prisoner better than him. One day I saw him eating grapes from a big bunch of grapes. He was seen with a bunch of grapes. In that season, in Mecca, it was impossible to find any grapes. Allah Ta'ala gave him livelihood. He used to perform ritual prayers and recited the Quran al-Karim in the cell where he was imprisoned. The woman who listened to the Quran al-Karim he recited used to weep and feel pity for him. Sometimes, when I asked him, "Do you want anything?" he used to say, "Give me sweet water. Do not bring me meat from the animals sacrificed for the idols, and inform me beforehand when they will kill me. I do not want anything more." When the day of his persecution was determined, I went and informed him. When he learned this, he did not show any sorrow, and there was no change in his attitude. When that day approached, he said he would shave his body and requested a shaving knife. Therefore, I gave a shaving knife to my child and sent him. When the child went to him, I suddenly became afraid. I said, "This man will cut the child with a shaving knife. He will be killed in the end." I ran to see the child. Taking the shaving knife from the child, Hubayb made him sit on his lap to caress him. When I saw that scene, I shouted out from my fear. When he noticed the situation, he said, "Do you suppose I will kill this child? There is nothing like that in our religion. Killing a person undeservedly is not part of our behavior and glory." The day on which the polytheists had agreed to kill Hubayb bin Adi and Zayd bin Dasina arrived. That day, in the early morning, the polytheists unchained and brought them to the place called Tamim, out of the Mecca. The people of Mecca and the notables of the polytheists had gathered to watch the execution. There was a large crowd. The polytheists had set up 2 gallows where they would execute their captives. While they wanted to raise Hubayb and tie him to the gallows, he said, "Leave me and let me perform a ritual prayer of 2 rakats." They released him and said, "Perform it there." Hubayb started the ritual prayer immediately and performed it with awe of Allah Ta'ala. The gathered polytheists, women and children, watched him in excitement. After he completed his prayer, he said, "I swear by Allah Ta'ala that if you would not think that I extended the ritual prayer out of fear of death, I would extend it and I would pray more." Hadrat Hubayb bin Adi was the first person who performed a ritual prayer of 2 rakats before his execution. When our master, the Prophet, heard that he made a ritual prayer of 2 rakats at his execution, he found this behavior appropriate. Thus, it became a sunnat for people who will be executed to perform a ritual prayer of 2 rakats before being put to death. After he performed his prayer, they lifted him up to the gallows tree and tied him. They turned his face from the Qibla to Medina. Then they said, "Now abandon your religion. If you do, we will set you free." He replied, "I swear by Allah Ta'ala that I won't. Even if all the world is given to me, I will not give up Islam." The polytheists who received this answer said, "Do you want Muhammad to be in your place and to be killed instead of you now? If you say yes, you will free yourself and stay at your home in peace." Hubayb said, "I can never consent to even a toe's harm to Muhammad a.s.'s foot." The polytheists, making fun of him and together laughing, said, "O Hubayb, abandon Islam. If you do not, we will kill you. Absolutely." Hubayb replied to them, "As long as I am on the path of Allah Ta'ala, to be killed is not important to me at all." After this, Hubayb prayed, "O my Allah, here I am not seeing any other face than the foes. O my Allah, forward my greetings to your messenger. Inform your messenger of what is done to us," and said, "Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah." While Hubayb said this prayer, our beloved Prophet alayhi wasalam was sitting with his companions. He said, "Wa alayhi salam." The Ashab Kiram asked, "O Rasulullah, to whose greeting this is a reply to?" He answered, "It is a reply to the greeting of your brother Hubayb. Jibreel alayhi wasalam has brought me the greeting of Hubayb." The Quraysh polytheists gathered around Hubayb, and youngsters attacked him with spears by saying, "This is the man who killed your fathers," and started wounding his blessed body. At that moment, Hubayb's face turned towards the Kaaba. The polytheists turned him towards Medina. Hubayb prayed, "O my Allah, if I am a good slave in your sight, turn my face towards the Kaaba." His face again turned towards the Kaaba. None of the polytheists could turn his face towards any other direction. At that moment, Hubayb recited a poem saying that he was being martyred, surrounded by the foes. When the polytheists started tormenting him by thrusting spears into his body, he said, "I swear by Allah that as long as I will be killed as a Muslim, I do not care on which of my sides I will fall. All of these are on the path of Allah Ta'ala." Wa alaykum salam.